Leadership isn't your job title. It's how you handle shit when it hits the fan. Pressure, conflict, deadlines, mistakes, those are the times that define you. And your team, they're watching. Hi, I'm Tammy. I'm a brain-based leadership coach who helps stressed out leaders go from losing their shit to showing up like the leader people trust, follow, and promote. The leaders I work with know their stuff, but still lose it when stress or conflict comes up. When things get messy, that's when real leadership shows up. Or it doesn't. So let's find out how you handle it when it's not smooth sailing. That's why we're about to map this out, because once you see your own style or your boss's, you can actually start changing the game. When the pressure is on, there's really only two factors that determine your behavior: how you connect to your team and how you connect to your emotions. We have high team connection, trust, listens to their employees. Low team connection, doesn't trust or listen to their employees. We have emotionally reactive or avoidant, and we have emotionally regulated and solution focused. So let's find out where you land. Let's start at the top left quadrant. What would you call someone who is emotionally avoidant and still connected to their team? So this person avoids hard conversations, suppresses emotions, and struggles with holding people accountable. I call this one the suppressor. To be honest, this was me. I listened and I trusted my employees. I had many loyal employees that stayed with me for years. I even had a few best boss ever accolades. But I avoided conflict like the freaking plague. I suppressed negative emotions to stay calm under stressful situations. And I even threw in some toxic positivity. Everything's fine. Look, we're good. Let's look on the bright side. But I was slowly dying on the inside. And spoiler alert, not sustainable. And I had zero boundaries. But what I didn't realize was avoiding conflict was just creating more of it. Do you see yourself in this one? Maybe your current leader. Now let's talk about the leader with the opposite problem. Emotionally regulated and solution focused, but still disconnected from the team. So this leader fixes everything alone, struggles to delegate, high burnout risk, and deeply disconnected from the team. I call this one the lone wolf, aka DIMer or do-it-myselfer. Now, this leader, they get shit done. They're efficient, they're independent, and they're proud of it. But they don't trust anyone to do it right, so they do the work themselves. And yeah, it works until it doesn't. Burnout hits, the team disengages, and collaboration dies because no one's invited to the process. You don't get promoted by being a hero. You get promoted by building a team that can win without you. This is the leader who, when shit hits the fan, balls start dropping and no one is there to catch them. Have you ever worked for this kind of boss or been him? How do you think he sleeps at night? How do you think his team feels walking into work this way? Okay, so let's talk about the quadrant that no one wants to be in, but a lot of us end up in when things get hard. The leader who's short-tempered, reactive, maybe even snapping at people they actually care about. What would you call the leader that's disconnected from their team and emotionally dysregulated? So for this leader, we have quick to anger, micromanages, raises voice for control, and leads through fear, not connection. I call this leader the reactor. I think we've all had this boss, maybe even been this one. Stress hits and boom, yelling, passive aggression, even name calling. Micromanaging because they don't trust the team will do it right. You could hear them say something like, "I'm the boss, so just do it my way." This leader doesn't mean to scare their team, but fear is the byproduct. People walk on eggshells. Respect turns into avoidance. When trust is low and emotions are high, you don't lead, you react. The most important question a reactor can ask themselves is, what is the advantage of communicating this way? Once my clients understand this, it gets way easier to build the habits and tools that help them shift, so they can reconnect with their team and lead with emotional regulation and a solution-focused mindset. So finally, this is where we're headed. Calm, clarity, connection, respectful conflict management, shared problem solving, and models emotional regulation under pressure. I call this one the empowered leader. They are clear in communication. Brene Brown once said, "Clarity is kindness," and she was absolutely right. They stay connected to their team, even in conflict. That's how you keep people from quitting. They solve problems without finger pointing. They lead with calm under pressure. They build a culture where people actually want to speak up and do their best work. This isn't soft skills. This is a performance strategy. 90% of top performers score high in emotional intelligence. Companies with emotionally intelligent leaders see 30% more productivity and up to 27% higher employee satisfaction. So now that you know where you land, here's the good news. None of these styles are permanent. You can shift. There's a reason why 75% of Fortune 500 companies use emotional intelligence tools. This is your pathway to promotion, profit, and peace of mind. And together, we can develop the perfect skill set for you. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens in your brain and body when stress hits, and why awareness is the first step to taking back control. I appreciate your time, so I'm going to over-deliver on value here because I want you equipped, not just inspired. See you in the next one.